Hello, welcome to another episode of the live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. This is once again an episode that I feel obligated to do because it's just something that sometimes you have to do it. Like I did the Sneeko, I wasn't really up on the whole Sneeko situation, but um, it was like everybody was doing it. So I felt I had to do one. So I did that. And so, Sheikh Uthman, um, now I'm not, I don't know a lot about Sheikh Uthman. I mean, personally have never met. I met him once at Balboa Park the one time I went, and I didn't talk to him or anything like that. But we've been, done many episodes about him, and yes, uh, Ketchup Boy. Makes you wonder all this stuff. It's like that's going on with him. Um, it's like it's hard. He's kind of like the gift that keeps giving. Like Sheikh Yasser Qadi. He keeps saying stuff that keeps causing people to leave Islam. He's making so many people leave Islam, and so we are. And then like the other day. Ali Dawa spoke to a transgender person about Islam, and as a result of his dawa, the person became a Christian and repented. And so, so these guys are making people leave Islam. And so, this next episode with you know Sheikh Uthman is undoubtedly going to make an impact. And yeah, I mean, I was listening to it last night. I couldn't believe. Good question right here. Where's the Muslim backlash? You know, I used to. I, there was a mosque that I used to go. Uh, I used to set up my table in front of this mosque, and I used to do it on Wednesdays. And then there was a supermarket where there's lots of Muslims. I used to go there and set up my table there. And many times I met people who were Sheikh Uthman's disciples, people that, uh, followed Sheikh Uthman and were out there at Balboa Park doing da'wah with Sheikh Uthman. And uh, I have let me just show you the video. I have a video of when I was there at Balboa Park. I think I showed it to you guys before. Sam Shimon put it, and he's the one that filmed it. Babe. Yes. Yes. What's this? What is it? We found Steve Mashneview's cell phone number and address. What is that? Where? On YouTube? Yeah. Anyway, let's just go ahead and go with this. I don't know. Okay, this is what time when I was at Balboa Park, and
with a sword.
The word says, you know what the word says?
What does it say? What does it say?
Slow down.
Okay. حبيبي انا امريكي خربان. Okay. انا امريكي خربان. Let me finish. I want to tell you. You know what?
Your boy needs to do his homework, bro.
It said هم عند الرحمن.
Hey, your boy needs to do his homework, man.
Have
you done your homework?
Oh yeah, I've done my homework enough. I don't speak on what I don't know, but this guy.
Is it okay if he lies to him, or is it okay for him to lie to him? Is it okay?
No. Here's what I'm saying, right?
Is it okay?
Okay. Anyway, that was when I went to Balboa Park, and that's the closest I got to. You know, I never talked to Sheikh Uthman. You know, yeah, my bad. Khalas. Yeah, I know. I know. Of course, I was there when David Wood was talking to him, and Anthony Rogers were, and then I know, of course, God Logic speaks to him a lot and stuff, and you know. But anyway, anyway, the situation, and I know you guys all know it already, is about Sheikh Uthman and his friend's wife. This is something that boy, what do you do with this? You know, I know. You know, I was watching Christian Prince. Christian Prince even said, you know, I don't like to do personal stuff about people, but this is already this is way out there. Everybody's doing something on this, and I mean, it's on TikTok. It's on, and so I figure we should do something about this. Just and you know, I do have a problem with Sheikh Uthman. I mean, many problems. The stuff he says, the lies, the you know. But I particularly have a problem with his booth that says Jesus is a Muslim. It's a huge, you know. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It has huge, you know, banner on it. It says Jesus is a Muslim, and the way you know they deceive people, the way they talk to people, lie to people, and the way like I said, I was talking about, you know, at that mosque that I used to sit at in front of, you know, and I'd always have these kids that came out and they love Sheikh Uthman. They worship the ground he walks on. Everything he does was like, wow, he was, you can't say nothing bad. He says thousands and thousands of Christians are becoming Muslims because of Sheikh Uthman. And so so anyway, we um so anyway, you know, it kind of makes me think, you know, that you blaspheme and blaspheme, and eventually it catches up to you, you know. And Sheikh Uthman, with his, you know, Jesus is a Muslim, and the way he twists the scriptures, the way the stuff that he says for so long, so many people that he's misled, you know, the hens come home to roost, you know. Not sure if I said that correctly, but anyway, let's look at the video in question, the TikTok video. And this is, like I said, you know, I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Polygamy is illegal in the US. If only the US knew about how much polygamy is going on, but you see, there's marriages that are not legal, and I mean, like legal marriages in terms of, you know, city council or whatever, but they are Islamic marriages, you know, where you put your hand, you know, put your hands and put a napkin on top of it, and so there's those kind. You know, it makes me think of because. There was a time when my father was married. You know, he was divorcing my mother. He hadn't divorced her yet, but legally in America. But he went to the Holy Land and did the Islamic divorce, you know, talak, 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 and then married another woman. So he was married to two women at once, you know, my mother and my stepmother. And eventually he did divorce my mother, but you know, but so there is the Islamic way of marrying that, and I bet there's so much of that going on, and that in spite of the fact that polygamy is illegal, oh, the chickens come home to roost. Thank you so. Oh, is he the one that said that? You know, he's not the only one who said that, but he did. Obama's Obama's mufti. Yeah. So yes, thank you for pointing that out. So anyway, you know, there's a lot of issues here. So let's just watch and then let's you know, let's see where this goes. Thank you, Danny. God bless you, brother. Bless you. Thank you so much. Um, let's just watch this and see where it leads. Okay. Let's watch the there. Okay. Let's watch. There's actually two videos here. One is Osman is a zani, and the other one is Osman committing. So now there's a Sneeko angle to this too, because this guy's talking to Sneeko, and so let's watch it and see.
One, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Brother Sneeko. I hope you're doing well. I have a request. Can you ask Sheikh Uthman how many wives he had last October? And then ask him again why you divorced your second wife 15 days ago.
How many wives do you have?
One, alhamdulillah. You know, I have a wife, alhamdulillah. I have kids, I'm happy, alhamdulillah.
One is plenty.
Well, I don't know.
So in Islam, the man, there's nowhere in any hadith, there's nowhere in any verse in the Quran that states that a woman has to give permission to her husband for him to get a second wife. For a man to get a wife without asking his first, because nowhere does it say that, right? Verbal commitment to you. And me and my husband have made a deal that if I am starting to fall behind and I'm not doing my due diligence as a wife, that he will warn me beforehand. And if he ever wants a third wife, he will let me know before it happens. And he swore to Allah for that. That's the best you can do to prevent him from getting another. But also my husband, he's got the money for 2, but he don't got the time for 3. He doesn't have the time to be able to split it between 3 women. He just doesn't. You know, he barely has the time to split it between her and I and 4 children.
Whoa.
One, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Shoot. It's one thing, you know, to listen to Sheikh Uthman justify himself. It's a totally another thing to actually hear the woman that he married, you know, just say that, you know, there's no verse in the Quran that says that he has to tell me if he wants to marry another wife. You know, we have this agreement that if I'm falling behind in my duties, that he'll warn me and marry another one. I mean, wow. Shoot, you know, every woman should leave Islam right now. If you're a Muslim woman, you should leave Islam right now. You should leave Islam right now because of what that woman just said. And, you know, it makes me so sad when they are trying to justify what Muhammad said. When they're trying to justify what Muhammad said. And shoot. Wow. Ricky Zamora, I've never thought about that again. I can't blame Sheikh. He's just, you know what, you guys? One thing that I've heard again and again is about that he's just doing what Muhammad did. You know, I don't know that Muhammad did this. Now there is situations where Muhammad's marriage counseling advice. You know, there was the situation where a woman came to Muhammad and she had a green dress on, and she was bruised, and Aisha told Muhammad, her husband is beating her. And Muhammad made the woman go back to her husband, abusive husband. So he didn't do anything for the woman. Then there's the other situation where the woman came and said, my husband is jealous of Salim, our slave boy, because he's turned 15. He's got a little bit of a beard now, and he sees me without the veil, uncovered. And Muhammad's solution was that she would breastfeed him. He said, breastfeed him, and she said, well, he's a grown man. How can I breastfeed him? And says Muhammad smiled, and he said, breastfeed him. And so she did, and that cured the jealousy in her husband. So, yeah. So the story goes, and we're going to watch another video. The story goes that apparently, so this guy, and I'll let him say it, but the story that I was thinking of is there was one of the battles that happened, and in one of those battles, they captured a bunch of women, and they divided the women among the Sahaba and everybody. And then Muhammad saw one of the women that one of his friends took, and she was very beautiful. And so Muhammad told his friend, I want her. And he said, but I really love her, and I don't have nobody else in my life, and we're married, or whatever. So Muhammad left. And then the next day, Muhammad said, I want her. And 3 days later, and then Muhammad said, okay, go ahead and take her. And so that's the closest thing I can find to what Sheikh Uthman has done here. I mean, I know that Muhammad married many widows. That it's true that Muhammad did marry widows. Of course, he made them widows because he's the one who killed their husbands, in his battles and stuff. So, one thing that you hear sometimes is Muhammad married so many women because they were widows and he wanted to help them. He's the one who made them widows because he killed their husband. Like Zainab bint Harith, he killed her husband, her brother, and her father, and then he had sex with her, and she made him dinner that day. And so anyway, let's watch the second video on this, okay? And let's see. Sorry.
Guide us all. So he will wait. I'm gonna tell you the the process. He is gonna wait for a friend and see if he can help him. For example, a brother, which is me, I reached out for him because he's a sheikh to fix our marriage. So what I did is I gave him my wife's number because we have some trouble I had trouble between me and my wife. So I trusted Sheikh Uthman, I know him, and then I was on his table in Balboa Park.
MashaAllah, he's one of the du'at here. He went on a cross-country da'wah trip.
So I gave him her number to fix our marriage, right? And then after 2 days, my wife, she completely blocked me, and I know nothing about her. And I told Sheikh Uthman, what happened? Why she doesn't talk to me? She's like, she doesn't want you, that's it. Yeah, don't bother her anymore.
Oh.
I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, well, this is my fate. So I got suspicious a little bit. Like, what's going on? So somebody told me that she got married, like after a month of our separation. I was like, this is weird. This is not Islamic way. And then she's still my wife. Why? She married somebody else. I'm like, this is weird. She's a very private person. She doesn't talk to any guys. Okay. So subhanallah, I did some research and I found out that Osman married my wife. Instead of fixing my marriage, he married her. Still, she's still married to me. Islamically, she's still married to me. Subhanallah. May Allah guide him. I don't know. Subhanallah. This is not Islamic. This is not, I don't know what to say. Subhanallah. So this is the way that Osman pick up his wives. And guess what? She's the second wife. And then this is the testimony of my wife, that how did she find the new husband? You judge. Assalamu alaikum.
So I'm a second wife. My husband had a first wife before we got married. Him and I were not looking to get married, like, at all. There was a guy that was trying to marry me, and he gave my current husband my number, saying, please call her for me, blah, blah, blah. And he called me. He was like, look, I'm only calling you because this guy won't get off my butt. And we talked for like 2 hours. We ended up really being fond of each other. He told me, I'll find a husband for you. I said, okay, I'll make sure you approve. He said, no, I'm going to find a husband for you. I said, okay, that's fine. And then we ended up getting married
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother Sneeko. MashaAllah, God bless.
Okay. First of all, and I got to bring this up, and you know that as a Muslim, Sheikh Uthman should obey the Quran. He should obey the Quran. Okay, and there's 2 Quran commands that he did not obey in this situation. Okay. Number 1, all right, the woman would, this type of situation is addressed in Surah Al-Talaq, the Surah of divorce, which in verse 4, that's where it tells you you can marry 5-year-old girls. Okay, it's verse 4. If you're a Muslim, please go read it. It's about where it's the one that says that you can marry prepubescent girls, marry, divorce, remarry. But there is a guideline in there. And the guideline is that you have to wait 3 months. You have to wait 3 months after a woman is divorced before you can remarry her. So did Sheikh Uthman wait 3 months before marrying her? And another thing, you can't marry her until she's divorced. And according to her current husband, or her contemporary husband at the time, she was still married to the first husband. And another thing, the Quran talks about men having many wives. Chapter 4, verse 3, it says, "Inkahu ma taba lakum min an-nisa muthna thalatha aw arba'." You know, marry. It doesn't say marry. Inkahu does not mean marry. It means just have sex. Women, as you can, 2 and 3 and 4. But it never says that to women. And so what we have here is a situation where she is the polygamist. She's the one who has 2 husbands. She had her original husband and Sheikh Uthman. Now, Sheikh Uthman apparently divorced her. Okay, so we got a lot of questions here. And tell you the truth, you guys, I don't know of a situation where Muhammad even did something like this. I mean, there is a situation where Muhammad married his daughter-in-law. He took his son's wife and married her. But Zayd divorced her. Zayd divorced her, and then Muhammad married her. You know, and then you can go into the morals of that. Daniel, let's talk about mut'a marriage. But the mut'a marriage, the woman, while she's married, is allowed to do mut'a marriage with another guy? Is that mut'a marriage? Mastamta'tum bihum. You know, because that verse about mut'a, I believe it's Quran 424. Let me just look at it real quickly. Okay. 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 Yeah, this is the mut'a marriage verse. It's chapter 4. It's chapter 4, verse 24. And chapter 4, verse 24. Here's what it says. In Arabic, I just want to tell you that in Arabic, it doesn't say what it says in English, but let's just go ahead and, just for the sake of language, says, also forbidden are married women, except captives in your possession. This is Allah's commandment for you. Lawful for you are all beyond these, as long as you seek them with your wealth in a legal marriage. It doesn't say that. No, the word marriage is not used in this verse at all. Not in fornication. محسنات غير مسفحين فما استمتعتم. There's the mut'a word. Okay, what you enjoyed bihi minhun فأتوهم أجورهم. Give them their however much it costs, you know, for the pleasure that you got from them. Give those you have consummated marriage. It doesn't say that. Their due dowries. It doesn't say that. It is permissible to be mutually gracious regarding the set dowry. Okay, it doesn't say forbidden are married men, because that's the situation here, is that the woman, okay, is married to a man and she's marrying a married man. I mean, I don't think there's a verse that addresses this situation. This particular, and the guy says that he didn't divorce her. He still hasn't divorced her. I don't know if he's divorced her since then. I don't know if anybody knows. You know, if you guys have heard that the first husband, the one who did the video, if he divorced her yet. But this verse about the mut'a marriage, وَالْمُحْسَنَاتْ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ. This is for men dealing with women. It's not for women dealing with men, but we have the reverse situation here, where but then if you want to look at it from Sheikh Uthman's situation, then you got a different situation there. Okay, I was kind of looking at it from her perspective and from the other husband's perspective, but the fact that she's married, it says forbidden are married women. Oh, okay. Now there's a problem for Sheikh Uthman. There's a problem for Sheikh Uthman because she's a married woman. You see, it says forbidden to you are married women. So Sheikh Uthman broke that commandment too. He didn't wait 3 months. He married a woman, a married woman. You know, so according to this, Sheikh Uthman broke that part too. And did he pay her? Because it says you're supposed to ujurahum. Now I'll just tell you guys, ujurahun, that here they're saying bridal due. That's not what it says. Ujurahun is like their wages. You're paying them their wages. Ujurahun, it's a word. Ujra. Ujrat al-khatiyya hiya al-maut. In the Bible, they use this word ujra. I mean, the wages of sin is death. The word ujur means wages. And so give them obligatory their wages. So Sheikh Uthman is breaking all of these Quran commandments. And Ketchup made the dude say talaq. Videos are around of it. Oh, so he did tell the guy to divorce her? Oh, okay, but someone else is saying, but the talaq only happened after Ketchup had already married her. Dang. Let me see. Maybe we have all misunderstood Uthman. Maybe he really is just going deep undercover, trying to fix his friend's wife for him. Wow. Wow. You guys, this is there's so many, I mean, with all the crazy stuff that we see Muhammad doing in the Hadith and in the Quran, with Allah giving him his daughter-in-law. And, there was a verse that I wanted to look at too, another verse of the Quran. I don't know if it's completely relevant to this, but maybe it is. It's in Surah Al-Ahzab. And this one is, it says, "It is not lawful for you, O Prophet, to marry more women after this, nor can you replace any of your present wives with another, even if their beauty may attract you, except those bondwomen in your possession. And Allah is ever watchful over all." So this one, the replace, is what's the interesting word here, because in Arabic, the word, let me make it bigger for you here. In Arabic, the word for replace, let me show you. Oh, am I going the right way? Okay. Let me see. I think I may be going the wrong way here. Just one second there. Okay. The word for replace is this word right here. This is the word for replace, which in Arabic is tubaddil. Tubaddil. And this is the same word that is used for in the Quran, la tabdil. The kalimat Allah. There's no exchanging the words of Allah. See, and if you look at how it translates it here, into baddil bihun, to exchange them, to trade them, is what this means. Into baddil bihun, min azwaj. Lo a'jabak hasanhum, even though their beauty pleases you. You're not allowed to exchange your wives. You can't marry anymore, and you can't exchange. Tubaddil bihun. And the way it says tubaddil bihun, it makes it mean like you're trading. You can't trade them anymore. So I don't know if that may be something, or if man saw something there that allowed him to do that. He felt that he had permission to do this. And another question. Well, it seems like one of you already answered this. One of you already answered this, and I think, and that is that the man Uthman told the man to divorce her. He said, tell the man, he made the man say talaq, talaq, talaq. And now let's talk realistically, okay? Okay, you got to find all these Sharia loopholes to justify what Sheikh Uthman does. I don't know if there is a loophole. I don't know if there is a loophole in his. If he made the guy say talaq, talaq, talaq 3 times, I guess in an Islamic sense, he's off the hook, I guess. I don't know. The man said he's still married. Okay. Oh, yes, that's right. You're right. Now, somebody said that there was a video where Uthman made him say talaq 3 times. No, I don't know. But here, you're right. In the video, he said that he's still married to her. Yo, I don't know what you do with that. Wow. You know, this is kind of, it almost like a joke. Allah made him do it. But, no, the man made Uthman say talaq. Davy Jones. Are you Davy Jones from the Monkees? Okay. His right hand position. Wow. Dude. What do you do with this? I mean, I'd like to kind of listen to it again. I kind of like to listen just because there are certain things that the guy said that I think, I think I'd like to hear what he said again. So it's not Davy Jones from the Monkees.
Bless you. May Allah grant you Jannah. Ameen. Ya Rab. So almost a week ago, you asked Sheikh Uthman how to find a good wife. So you ask him 2 methods to find a good wife. You ask him about dating apps. He said no. And you ask what about OnlyFans. He's like, I don't know what is OnlyFans is. It's just totally fine. Yeah. Sheikh Uthman doesn't use those methods. He uses a better method. Exactly, totally different. That's what fits his style. Subhanallah. May Allah guide us all. So he will wait. I'm going to tell you the, the process. He is going to wait for a friend and see if he can help him. For example, a brother, which is me, I reached out for him because he's a sheikh to fix our marriage. So what I did is I gave him my wife's number because we have some trouble I had trouble between me and.
Okay, that picture up there is Uthman and this guy together at his booth.
Part.
MashaAllah, he's one of the du'at here. He went on a cross-country da'wah trip.
So I gave him her number to fix our marriage, right? And then after 2 days, my wife, she completely blocked me and I know nothing about her. And I told Sheikh Uthman, what happened? Why she doesn't talk to me? She's like, she doesn't want you, that's it. Yeah, don't bother her anymore.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, well, this is my fate. So I got suspicious a little bit. Like, what's going on? So somebody told me that she got married, like after a month of our separation. I was like, this is weird. This is not Islamic way. And then she's still my wife. Why she married somebody else? I'm like, this is weird. She's a very private person. She doesn't talk to any guys. Okay.
Right.
So subhanallah, I did some research and I found out that Uthman married my wife. Instead of fixing my marriage, he married her. Still, she's still married to me. Islamically, she's still married to me. Subhanallah. May Allah guide him. I don't know. Subhanallah. This is not Islamic. This is not, I don't know what to say. Subhanallah. So this is the way that Uthman pick up his wives. And guess what? She's the second wife. And then this is the testimony of my wife, that how did she find the new husband? You judge. Assalamu alaikum.
So I'm a second wife. My husband had a first wife before we got married. Him and I were not looking to get married, like, at all. There was a guy that was trying to marry me, and he gave my current husband my number, saying, please call her for me, blah, blah, blah. And he called me. He was like, look, I'm only calling you because this guy won't get off my butt. And we talked for like 2 hours. We ended up really being fond of each other. He told me, I'll find a husband for you. I said, okay, I'll make sure you approve. He said, no, I'm going to find a husband for you. I said, okay, that's fine. And then we ended up getting married about.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Brother Nico. MashaAllah, God bless you. May Allah grant.
We were very fond of each other. We're very fond of each other. And it's interesting to me, too. Now, she's married, going to Sheikh Uthman because her husband wants counseling. And Sheikh Uthman says, I'm going to find you a husband. Sheikh Uthman tells her, I'm going to find, she says, I'll find something. She said, no, I'll find you a husband. And she says, okay. I did notice Danny Paris said something interesting. He said, did you notice that she said they weren't married? Like there was a guy she couldn't get off her butt. And she said, I couldn't get this guy off my butt. Talking about her first husband, she said. But my goodness, you guys. This is and then Uthman says, I'm going to find you a husband. I want to hear that part again. I'm sorry, you guys. I know. I just that some things you get, because I didn't really understand that part where he tells her, I want to find you a husband. You know, let's see if we can fast forward to it.
And you, Jannah, Ameen, Ya Rab. SubhanAllah. This is not Islamic. This is not, I don't know what to say. SubhanAllah. So this is the way that Uthman, you judge. Assalamu alaikum.
So I'm a second wife. My husband had a first wife before we got married. Him and I were not looking to get married, like, at all. There was a guy that was trying to marry me, and he gave my current husband my number, saying, please call her for me, blah, blah, blah. And he called me. He was like, look, I'm only calling you because this guy won't get off my butt. And we talked for like 2 hours. We ended up really being fond of each other. He told me, I'll find a husband for you. I said, okay, I'll make sure you approve. He said, no, I'm going to find a husband for you. I said, okay, that's fine. And at all. There was a guy that was trying to marry me, and he gave my current husband my number, saying, please call her for me, blah, blah, blah. And he called me. He was like, look, I'm only calling you because this guy won't get off my butt. And we talked for like 2 hours. We ended up really being fond of each other. He told me, I'll find a husband for you. I said, okay, I'll make sure you approve. He said, no, I'm going to find a husband for you. I said, okay, that's fine. So I'm a second wife. My husband had a first wife before we got married. Him and I were not looking to get married, like, at all. There was a guy that was trying to marry.
Okay. So apparently, Uthman called her and said to her, I'm calling you because this guy won't get off my butt. So it was Uthman's butt. Okay, because I thought she was saying that, but she said Uthman is the one who said that. This guy won't get off my butt, and so now I get the impression. Now this guy says that she was married to him, but when you listen to her, it's like she's saying this guy's trying to marry me. Now, did she not know that she was married to him?
That how did she find
wife before we got married. Him and I were not looking to get married. Husband had a first wife before we got married. Him
Okay, my husband, she's talking about Sheikh Uthman.
and I were not looking to get married,
He and I were not looking to get married at all.
like at all.
You know what's,
There was a guy.
what's funny to me, guys? There is a video of this guy with his wife, and she looks like a revert. She looks very American, and she talks. She talks like a Valley girl. She talks very much. She's a total American. She's not like a foreigner who came here and learned English. She's an American. And like we weren't looking to get married at all. I mean, she talked like an American. Okay. And now she says, there was this guy who was trying to marry me. Now she's saying that about her husband, the guy who told us that he's her husband. Now, if someone understands what's going on here.
That was trying to marry me, and he gave my current husband my number saying, please call her, call.
He's trying to marry me. Does that mean they weren't married?
Maybe it was mutual marriage.
Was it a mut'a marriage? But the problem is this poor guy, it looks to me like she's, I don't know. This is my opinion, you guys, okay? My opinion is she's lying. She's lying and about them not being married. Maybe she's embarrassed about the fact that she went and married a man while she was still married to another guy. Maybe she's lying. Because it doesn't seem like that guy who did this video was lying. It doesn't seem like he's lying. Who would come up with something like this? I mean, if you're going to come up with something, who would come up with this? Who would come up with a story like this? Who would make up something like this? I think this guy is telling the truth. You know what he's saying? I mean, there's a picture of him with Uthman, and Uthman commending him for taking part in that cross-country evangelism dawah trip they did together. She had 2 husbands. And I don't know, you guys, you know, when I got saved, I was already, she had 2 husbands. Yes. She's lying. Okay. I think so. If anybody knows, you know, one thing I don't know, in Islam, can a woman divorce a husband? Now, you see, I'm really asking, you know, I should probably know this, but I don't. You know, is a woman allowed to marry her husband, to divorce her husband? Mm-hmm. Yes, they are allowed to. Okay. Just because I've never heard of that. Yeah, the guy looks sincere. You know, I just, forgive me, you guys. I know you've seen this 10 million times today, but I just think there's something else going on here. And then I gave him her number. Okay, so this is the husband, her original husband, saying he gave Uthman his wife's number because he trusted Uthman. Wow. You know, there's a funny story, you guys. there's a funny story. This has nothing to do. You know, you have to be a senior citizen like me to appreciate. You may be senior and you still don't appreciate it. But there was a famous actress, and her name was Debbie Reynolds. This is like in the 60s, and she got married to this singer who was a very famous singer. Oh, Eddie Fisher, the father of Carrie Fisher. You know Carrie Fisher? She was Princess Leia in Star Wars. If you watch Star Wars, Princess Leia, that was Carrie Fisher. Her father was Eddie Fisher. Well, Eddie Fisher married Debbie Reynolds, who is Carrie Fisher's mother. Okay, but Elizabeth Taylor met Eddie Fisher and fell in love with him while he was married to Debbie Reynolds. So he left Debbie Reynolds and married Elizabeth Taylor. Okay. Now, Debbie Reynolds, a few years later, had forgiven Elizabeth Taylor, and she said, listen, she's my friend. I mean, I gave her my husband. But it was a joke. But it's kind of sounds like this. It just sounds kind of like, wow. And I wonder if this stuff, yes, you know Princess Leia, right? So trying to think, there was another thing too I was going to say. Yeah, I just want to see this again, you guys, just see if we can catch, because each time you watch, it's so convoluted when you listen to what she says, and it's so convoluted. It's so hard to understand what's going on here. But let's listen to the end. And then
call her for me, blah, blah, blah. And he called me. He was like, look, I'm only calling you because this guy won't get off my butt. And we talked for like 2 hours. We ended up really being fond of each other.
We ended up really being fond of each other. A married guy with 4 kids.
He told me, I'll find a husband for you. I said,
he told me, I'll find a husband for you. Now, that's interesting that he said, I'll find a husband for you. You see, it just gets weirder and weirder because Uthman, Uthman knew that she was married to his friend because his friend told him. Talk to my wife, and gave Uthman his wife's number. So Uthman is the one who called her. So he called her knowing that it was his friend's wife. And he tells her, I'm going to find you a husband?
okay, I'll make sure you approve. He said, no, I'm going to find a husband for you. I said, okay. I'll find a husband for you. I said, okay, I'll make sure you approve. He said, no.
And she said, okay, I'll make sure you approve. That is, I don't understand who's going to approve. She says to him, I'll make sure you approve. I'll make sure you approve. So she's saying to Uthman, okay, Uthman tells her, I'm going to find you a husband. She says, okay, I'll make sure you approve. What does that mean? I'll make sure you approve. You know, I would think it would be the other way around, which is, okay, please, okay, he says, okay, I'm going to find you a husband. She should say, yeah, but let me see who it is to make sure I approve if I'm going to marry him. But she says, no, I'll make sure you approve. You guys, this is so convoluted. I kind of feel she's the one who's, because the husband sounds sincere. She sounds like, what? I'll make sure you approve. Make sure the Sheikh Uthman approves of the man that he's going to marry to her. It doesn't make sense. Maybe I'm missing something here.
No, I'm gonna find a husband for you. I said, okay. That's
He said, no, I'm gonna find a husband for you. What kind of counseling is this? What kind of counseling service does this? I mean, are there sheikhs that do this? Who tell someone, I'm gonna find a husband for you? And then she says, I'll make sure you approve, whatever that means. And then he says, no, I'll find a husband for you. It's like, do sheikhs do this? Do imams do this? This is very strange. And then, of course, the husband turns out to be him. And this is after they got very fond of each other. Oh my goodness. You guys, I'm sorry, but I just got to watch it one more time. Maybe we'll understand more if we watch it again here. So.
Oh, God bless you. May Allah grant you Jannah. Ameen, Ya Rab. So almost a week ago, you asked Sheikh Uthman how to find a good wife. So you ask him 2 methods to find a good wife. You ask him about dating apps. He said no. And you ask what about OnlyFans. He's like, I don't know what is OnlyFans is. This is totally fine. Yeah. Sheikh Uthman doesn't use those methods. He uses a better method, exactly totally different. That's what fits his style. Subhanallah. May Allah guide us all. So he will wait. I'm gonna tell you the the process. He is gonna wait for a friend and see if he can help him. For example, a brother, which is me, I reached out for him because he's a sheikh to fix our marriage. So what I did is
he married us the same day of this picture. So this is that picture up there in the corner is the same day that Uthman married him to his wife. I wonder if Uthman had his eye on his wife from that time. I don't know, because that's totally guessing. But you guys, just because it was this guy, the husband, that reached out to Sheikh Uthman, so that maybe was not really relevant. So
I gave him my wife's number.
He gave him, Uthman, his wife's phone number. This is how much he trusted him.
Because we have some trouble I had trouble between me and my wife. So I trusted.
How many times has he called her his wife?
Sheikh Uthman, I know him. And then I was on his table in Balboa Park.
MashaAllah, he's one of the du'at here. He went on a cross-country da'wah trip.
So I gave him her number to fix our marriage, right? And then after 2 days, my wife, she completely blocked me, and I know nothing about her. And I told Sheikh
after 2 days. So apparently, Uthman called her the same day, apparently. Because remember, Uthman, the girl said that Uthman said, I'm only calling you because this guy won't get off my butt. Apparently, he gave him the number, and Uthman called that same day. Because 2 days later, she blocked him. So it wasn't like this was a long, lengthy thing that took months or anything.
Uthman, what happened? Why she doesn't talk to me? She's like, she doesn't want you. That's it. Yeah.
So he talked to Uthman, And Uthman said, she doesn't want you. That's it. She doesn't want you. That's it. Mm. You know, well, how did she block him? Like block him on the phone, you know, or did she move out or something? Or
Don't bother her anymore. I'm like, okay.
Uthman said, don't bother her anymore. What kind of power is that? I mean, I'm thinking as a pastor that I would say to a man, your wife doesn't want you. Don't bother her anymore. What kind of power is that you wield that kind of power over somebody that trusts you? You know, that's a lot of power there.
Okay. I was like, okay, well, this is my fate.
Poor guy, listen to that. This is my fate. Again, Islam is very fatalistic. Fatalistic meaning maktub. You know, they use the word maktub. It is written. That means Allah had written this in the eternal tablet. And it's my destiny. I got, you know, just accept it.
So I got suspicious a little bit. Like, what's going on? So somebody told me that she got married, like after a month of our separation. I was like,
So they were separated. Okay, he didn't say divorce. He said separated. No, but he does say later that he's still married to her. About a month later, she got married. So they didn't get married immediately. It was apparently a month later that she got married. So he gives a number to Uthman. Within the next day or so, Uthman calls her. And then for 2 days, they're talking. And then she blocks him after 2 days. And then Uthman tells him she doesn't want you, leave her alone. And then apparently a month later, she got married. Now, even that, the Quran says it has to be 3 months, but you know, it was a month, he's saying.
this is weird. This is not Islamic way. And then she's still my wife.
This is not Islamic way. He repeats that over and over again. That's not the Islamic way.
Why she married somebody else? I'm like, this is weird. She's a very private person. She doesn't talk to any guys. Okay. So subhanallah, I did some research and I found out that Osman married my wife. Instead of fixing my marriage, he married her.
Man married his wife.
Still, she's still married to me. Islamically, she's still married to me. Subhanallah. May Allah guide him.
So Islamically, she's still married to him.
I don't know. Subhanallah. This is not Islamic. This is not, I don't know what to say. Subhanallah. So this is the way that Osman pick up his wives. And guess what? She's his second wife. And then this is the testimony of my wife that how did she find the new husband? You judge. Assalamu alaikum.
So I'm a second wife. My husband had a first wife before we got married.
My husband had a first wife before we got married. So is that legal in America for him to have 2 wives in America? Because that means in America he had 2 wives. Is that legal? Yeah, well, in her case, she's got 2 husbands and he's got 2 wives. Oh.
Him and I were not looking to get married, like, at all. There was a guy that was trying to marry me, and he gave my current husband my number, saying, "Please call her for me." Well,
So there's a guy who's trying to marry me. See, that's the thing. The twist there is like, what's she saying?
blah. And he called me. He was like, "Look, I'm only calling you because this guy won't get off my butt." And we talked for like 2 hours. We ended up really being fond of each other. He told me, "I'll find a husband for you." I said, "Okay, I'll make sure you approve." He said, "No, I'm going to find a husband for you." I said, "Okay, that's fine." And then we ended up getting married.
Wait for part 3.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Brother Sneeko. MashaAllah, God bless you. May Allah.
Wait for part 3. Wow. Let's watch this. Sheikh Uthman divorces his wife and goes to Mecca asking for forgiveness.
What about dating in general? Should young Muslims even date?
No, dating is haram.
Think about
Niqabi.
inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This message for Brother Sneeko. May Allah bless you and may Allah strengthen your iman. MashaAllah, God bless you, brother. First, you want to ask me who is this guy? We're going to put that till later. Yesterday, you had an interview with Osman. You asked him how to find a good wife. You asked him about the dating and about OnlyFans. And he is like, what? OnlyFans? What is that? Really? Come on, Osman. You know what's OnlyFans. You live in San Diego. Come on. Okay, let's get to the subject here. Can you ask Osman how did he meet his second wife? What method he used? Let him answer you. And then ask me how did he find her? Let's see how does it go. Does it match or no? And you're gonna tell me like, oh, this guy is crazy, right? Okay, then if still I am crazy or he's gonna call me crazy, why he divorced her upon my request? A lot of questions we're gonna be raised here, right? Just to let you know, I'm from San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm not sure if you know me. You can contact me, brother. May Allah guide him.
Give talaq 3 times.
I give her talaq.
3 times.
3 times.
I divorced her 3 times.
You heard it?
Yeah, talaq, please.
Talaq. Done?
Okay, done.
He married his second wife while she was still married to somebody else. That's a big sin a man can do. Ask Mufti Mink to investigate how can a man marry a married woman before shaking his hand and welcoming her. Oh, okay. Woo! Dang. Ah. Now you guys, there's part 3 is coming. Dang. Let's see if I could go. There's another video that I wanted to show you. Okay, this is somebody.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أخوكم يحيى. Inshallah, quick announcement and a clarification as well. Regarding Umar al-Hallaq, aka Abu Adnan. Abu Adnan has been accusing Sheikh Uthman with false accusation. And the reason why I said false accusation, I do bear witness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is false, because what he have added into his clip, it was a phone call. It was done between me, myself, both Sheikh Uthman on the line, and called Abu Adnan, brought him on the line as well. And Abu Adnan was recording the whole thing. But instead of playing the whole phone call, he just picked the part that he wants and posted it. So Abu Adnan, ittaqillah, Either you play the whole phone call or you take your posts down. Jazakallah khair.
Bruh, look at this dude.
Send me. Oh, no. Maybe I said it once or twice.
It's another video here. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to play it, but really weird stuff. So, okay, guys. Well, this guy, his heart may be hurting now. So the sheikh don't believe in bro before. Radical. Hey, Radical. How you doing, man? Yeah, no, the sheikh is hard. Dude. Dude, this, it's like, it's mind-boggling to listen to this stuff. And she's my best, my best, my best friend's girl. You know what? I used to like that song. That was by the Cars. They were amazing in the 70s, late 70s when I was in high school. Yeah, so very interesting situation there, and I guess part 3 is coming. Dang. But you know what? It reminds me of, you guys, because both of these guys, when you come down to it, these guys are both, they blaspheme the Lord Jesus, the Son of God. And it reminds me of the Moabites and the Ammonites fighting each other, and that these Dawagandas start going at each other like this. And so, anyway, I'm not, I don't know what to say. Yeah, it is amazing that, with all of the things that came up with Sheikh Uthman, and then and now with this. So, all right, you guys. Well, that's pretty much all I wanted to do. I kind of felt like it was an obligatory, just because everybody's doing this video right now, and I felt like I need to do it. It was interesting in the end there with the guy saying talak, 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 who was saying what. But I think it was the guy said he made Uthman say talak, talak, talak. So I don't know. That wasn't very clear. And then the other guy saying, no, that wasn't what, I don't know what's going on, So anyway, that's, let me just say that from the Christian, from what Jesus said, none of this is allowed. Muhammad is the one that opened the door for all of this weirdness with his weird Surah Talaq, the Surah of divorce, with all the stuff that Muhammad did, all the stuff that he taught, his example, all the women that he married, making his son divorce his wife so he could marry her. I mean, Muhammad did this stuff, is all, the sunnah of the Prophet. Muhammad did this. And so now they've kind of taken, Uthman has taken it maybe a step further than even his prophet did, in terms of weirdness. But, there's so many loopholes for men. And it always says, and Allah is most merciful when it comes to what a man does. Over and over again it says, and there's no blame on you. La jinah alik. In Arabic, it's la jinah alik. There's no blame on you. So that men can just pretty much do anything. And Muhammad opened the door to this. And so but Jesus closed the door on this. Jesus said, this is forbidden. It says, and those who do this will not inherit the kingdom of God. And divorce, Jesus said, that it's not allowed. And, it's one man and one woman for life. That's it. And yet, just fascinating. So anyway, guys, praise be to God that we follow the Lord Jesus, who doesn't leave things so confused. So anyway, thank you very much, you guys, for being with us. Hello, Haron May. God bless you, my friend. I kind of wanted to just show this video and and do a short thing here. I'm sorry, man. I didn't really have time to bring anybody on today, but maybe next time. You know what? He seems like a really nice guy. You feel sorry for that guy. You really do. He really trusted Uthman. Now, but go watch this guy's videos too. He does a lot. He does a lot too, Islamically, and he's a dawah again, just like Uthman. Yes. So pray for him. Pray for him that he says, you know what? This, they're going to find a loophole. They're going to find some Sharia loophole for what Uthman did to justify him. The same way that they found that loophole for Andrew Tate. Remember when Andrew Tate, all the stuff that Andrew Tate was doing, and then they found a huge loophole for him in the Quran. It says he's a Muslim, but he's not a believer. That was the loophole for Andrew Tate, remember? Because of all the crazy stuff he was doing. And then, who was it? Ali Dawah came out and says, he's a Muslim, but he's not a believer yet. And so they got a big loophole there for Andrew Tate. They're going to find a loophole for Uthman too. So it'll be interesting to see the loopholes. So anyway, you got loopholes in the narrative. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. All right, you guys, thanks for being with us. If you haven't done it, do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Oh, wait a second. Oh, okay. Jesus, come in. Oh, yeah. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. يسوع ساعدني. يسوع سامحني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. He loves you. We love you. You guys, for those of you who like my intro, unfortunately, I'm having some trouble with my intro because I have music on it. Simple Man by Leonard Skinner, which I love. I love that song, the guitar riff. But because it is copyrighted, I get in trouble for it. So I'm not going to be playing that anymore. I'm sorry, you guys. I know a lot of you guys love to hear that guitar riff right at the beginning. I love it too, but unfortunately I can't play it anymore. But we can play this.
If you have ever wondered why Dawah apologists lie so much, it's because on a rare occasion that they tell the truth, this happens.
One of the reasons I accepted Islam was the scientific miracles. I'll be honest with you. And